Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us in the series of talks promoted by the United States Spiritist Federation every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Today, I am here very happy to host the talk by Bernadette Leal. Bernadette will be talking to us about hope, the offspring of faith. Before I turn it over to Bernadette, I would like to take just a moment to do an opening prayer. So let us all close our eyes, take this opportunity to open our hearts and our minds and connect to the spirits of light who are here present with us, along with our benefactors who guide us during our journey on earth. May we all be blessed. May our dear friend Bernadette receive the inspiration during this talk, and may all of us be touched by her words of wisdom. So be it. Bernadette, welcome. Hope you're doing well.
Doing good. Doing good.
It is so great to have you here with us today to talk about hope, about faith.
Mhm.
And as we celebrate Easter tomorrow, I am eager to hear your message. Thank you so very much, Bernadette. But before Bernadette begins her talk, please allow me to formally introduce her. Bernadette is currently a board member of the Spiritist Society of San Diego. She has given talks and led workshops on education, restorative justice practice, as well as Spiritist philosophy. Bernadette has a master's degree in education. She works as an elementary school teacher in San Diego, California. And she has a very important mission as she advocates for awareness to young girls and prevention on human trafficking. Last but certainly not least, Bernadette has a passion for music and singing. I would like all of you to join me in my warm welcome to Bernadette today. And take this moment to remind everyone in the audience to please send your questions, send your observations via chat. We will allow time for Bernadette to address your comments after she concludes her presentation. So now, welcome Bernadette as you present Hope, the Offspring of Faith.
Wow. Thank you, Marcia, for this wonderful introduction. So, good morning, everyone. And I'm here in California. So, it is 8 o'clock in the morning. My whole family is sleeping. But I am here since 6 o'clock in the morning, excited about this. And for those who are watching this later, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It might be, starting your day at the end of the day. And I feel so grateful to have this opportunity to have a little chat with you as um, I am right now, probably in your home, the same way that you are in my home right now. I'm here in my home and we are connected. I will start with a little story. And I read this story online, and it was told me that when I asked about it, that was based on a real story. So I'm just going to share, pass along the story, and feel free to share this with others. There was a soldier that he was fighting in a war, and it was very hard for him. He saw people everywhere, loved ones and friends being killed in the war, wounded, and there was also the weather problems with cold and lack of food and resources. It was very hard for him. I can imagine myself being in the war, and he was there defending his country or what he believed he was right. And he also went through some loss. He lost one of his limbs, and it took a long time. Many died, but he was one of the few that made it. When he came back, he was asked, what was it? What was it? How did you make it? And it's important to remember here that he was not a very spiritual person. Were you holding to the image of your family? Many soldiers have the picture of their family in their wallet, in their pockets, to remind them of the good things or the family, something to hold on. And they were very curious and asked, what was it? And he said, it was hope. Hope kept me alive. I was able to go through the whole thing because of hope. And that's the topic of today, my friends. Just like that soldier, we may feel that at times we are in a little war, things coming and bombarding us, the things that we were not expecting and just hitting us, and we have pain and we have sickness and we lose people. But today I invite you, just like that soldier, never lose your hope. I love sci-fi. If you don't know something about me, I watch all those sci-fi movies. And I was watching again Stargate. Okay. It's not anymore, but I was just a few. And and when I was watching, there was always something that is going on that they could die, and they had to make that quick decision, to save their lives. And I go, but if we do this, we could die. And the answer is, well, let's just hope that we are not going to die. Let's just hope that things are going to have a positive outcome. So, hope is in our nature. It is so important in our lives. And I was thinking the word hope, HOPE. And I was thinking, as a teacher, what would those letters mean, the acronym? So I thought of age for healing. If we go to hospitals and we talk to people that are sick, hope helps them to heal faster. People with cancer, with problems, it's healing, but not only physically. If we are going through a tough time in our lives, it helps us to get out of that stage and think of something positive. Friends, I with COVID, I had to, well, all of us, hopefully, um, it's very important to have the vaccine, right? So I was taking the vaccine, having the second dose. And some of my friends didn't have any reaction. Well, I was not the lucky one. When I had the second dose, I had a severe reaction. Almost went to the ER. But they told me that in 48 hours it's going to disappear like magic, and it did. But it was so much pain in my whole body. I had fever, I was coughing. I couldn't sleep for 24 hours because my body was hurting with so much pain. And this is going to go because it's for something better. But it was a great experience, although it was very painful. I was thinking, this is for something that is good for me because I have hope that we're going to get out of the woods with this. Because God, he knows what he's doing, and the faith in God. So age is for healing. What is the O? Well, optimism, right? Let's be optimistic. That's what the word hope means, actually. Hope means believing better, something better, a better outcome. So let's be positive. Have you met somebody with no hope? Have you? It is horrible. I've been getting a lot of phone calls and messages on WhatsApp and friends talking to me from Brazil. Many of them is like feeling hopeless. And if you're feeling hopeless, friends, give me a call. Let's get together because this is gonna get better. It is getting better, believe it or not. Because God knows what He is doing. One part of my story, I know what it feels to be hopeless. Many years ago, when I was in my 20s, and several of my friends know this story because they ask me, how did you become a spiritist? What happened? Because in my family, nobody was a spiritist. Well, when I was very young, like just yesterday, right? In my early 20s, I was going through a very difficult moment in my life to the point that I just didn't want to live anymore. I felt completely hopeless. There was nothing there for me. So I know what it is. It's like your body doesn't react to anything. We just accept whatever negative things happen in your life. You just want to give up. That's how I felt. I felt hopeless. Another story is, and it's a true story, as I was walking in São Paulo, I got lost. And suddenly I went to a building that I saw a bunch of people walking to the building. And I looked at the security guard and asked, "Sir, what is this place?" And by the time I got there, I was crying. I was just like, I don't want to live anymore. And the security guard said, "This is the Spiritist Federation." I go, what the hell is the Spiritist Federation? What is this place? Well, you don't know? No. I'm just completely lost. I don't even know where it is. I need to get my bus to go home. And the security guard said, "I see that you are not feeling very well right now. Why don't you go inside and go downstairs and have, talk to somebody, some counseling, so maybe they can help you." And I just felt, let me do it. What do I have to lose? Because my life is not worth it anymore. And that's how I found out Spiritism by accident, right? So the spirits and they know. And after studying years and I posse and doing all the treatment, this is what Spiritism did to me. It brought me hope. It got somebody that was feeling hopeless, that didn't believe life was worth it, and taught me and educated me that I'm a spiritual being, that I am eternal, that everything's going to pass because God loves me. And my favorite thing is when I learned about reincarnation, they said, "What? You're telling me that I'm going to come back? And then I'm not going to be suffering forever?" Because when you are suffering, it feels like it's forever, right? And I go, that's not possible. That's too good to be true. I remember so excited in my early 20s. Reincarnation was the happiest moment in my life, of my life. And that's what Spiritism does, this philosophy, these teachings. It brings us hope and understanding what's going on in our lives. So the age is healing, the always optimism. And I became very optimistic. I used to go home with everything falling apart. And I go, but it's okay. I'll get through this. And through the education and the studies, it was amazing. And I hope it does this for you too. Because one of the ways of bringing hope is through educating ourselves. And of course, trusting the creator, having faith in the creator, which I'm going to talk about faith a little bit later. The next in HOP is the P is for peace, right? When we have hope, we have a moment of peace. Just taking a break from everything that's going on and feel that peaceful moment in our hearts. Bernadette, you're going to be okay. God loves you. And if He's allowing all those things happen in your life or in somebody else's life, it's for a reason, because God just wants what is best for us. Is that peace when I have hope? Hope that things are going to get better. And the E. What is the E? The E, if you know me, right? It's energy. It's that boost when you're hopeful and you just putting your finger in an outlet and get that woo energy. Okay, what are we gonna do? We can get through this together, right? So, um, so hope is just that amazing thing in our lives. Is that seed of God that completely transforms us. I heard that, or probably already heard. I'm going to say in Portuguese: "Esperança é a última que morre." Hope is the last thing that dies. But in my opinion, hope never dies. Never. It's just there. It's always there. It's God's seed in our heart, in our spirit. But then we get overwhelmed with life and all those things around us. And we forget to light the candle of hope. And that's what I invite you every day. Wake up in the morning and no matter what, light the candle of hope. I light that candle every day. And as I wake up and I said, I have this lifetime, God allowed me to have this lifetime, this incarnation. So I'm going to do the best I can no matter what's going on. And it's okay sometimes you feel a little bit sad and come on, we are not perfect. We are humans. And it's okay to ask for help. And it's okay to get the phone and call a friend and say, hey, I'm not feeling really well today. Let's pray together. We haven't seen lately. This is the most amazing thing with COVID. We see more compassion. We see more love. This is hope. It's right there. So don't ever let this go during this pandemic. So continue talking about hope. I think about Jesus. Talking about the hope guru there. I won't even say the word guru because it's not very good. But it was just saying the hope model. That's the best word. Sorry. The hope model. His model was so many things. It's just the other day I was sitting here and I was telling my husband, imagine what would you do if suddenly this door opens and Jesus walks in? Huh? What would you do? And he goes, whoa, I can't imagine. So what would you do? I said, I don't know. I think I would just cry of joy. Just the idea. And he said, wouldn't it be amazing if he just walk in our home? And I said, yeah, baby. But the reality is that he's already here. He doesn't need physically walk in our home to give us hope, to teach us. He's every day here. But it is like the parable of the sower. If you remember the parable of the sower, um, there is the um, God's words or Jesus' words or hope, whatever it is. And we have to prepare our soil, our life, our spirit to be open to receive that. Otherwise, the birds are going to come and get the seeds. What are the birds? The birds are our distractions. I was talking to some kids about it. And I said, well, with the youth and kids that I teach, and say, well, the birds are going, but Miss Lau, the birds are not going to come and get the seeds. What do you mean excuse me, by the birds? I said, your distractions. We are saying, let's pray, let's read, let's connect with Jesus. And suddenly, here comes the birds, here comes the video games, here comes the TV, the Netflix, the social media. Be careful with the birds. And I go, oh, I get it. Don't we all have lots of those birds in our lives? What is it that is distracting us from connecting more with the Creator? What is it that is distracting us? to have more hope. Or the fields, and if we go on with the story, see, we have the birds, then there's the rocks, then the seeds fall on the rocks. The rocks are our problems, like boulders, right? That here's the spiritual guy talking to you, and suddenly we hear the words, or and it kind of it grows a little bit, but then it dies. The sun burns, the lack of faith, and then we have the thorns and the weeds until we get to the good soil. So let's be the good soil, the soil of love, the soil of hope, the soil of faith. That's and Spiritism helps us to have a fertile soil in our lives, no matter what's happening, to grow something positive. Let's do this. Let's do this with our children, with our family, with our life. And Jesus, he came at a time that people felt hopeless, very, very hopeless. I love a lesson about, I was teaching the youth about the Beatitudes. It's one of my favorite lessons, the Sermon on the Mount. And before I start teaching the all the Beatitudes, we talk about the context. How was living in Jesus' time? So I saw a lot of pictures of having to walk long hours, no cars, no cell phones, no airplanes, food, disease, prejudice, so how they treat women. But I wasn't very detailed. School, what happened with the boys. And after I taught them, I said, would you like to live in a place like that? And I go, no, no way. No way, Bernadette. I don't want to, never want to do this. It's crazy. It's horrible. There's a lot of suffering. There is a lot of pain. Well, then why did Jesus do that? Well, here you go. I don't know, but I wouldn't. I said, one or the other. Or he's crazy, which I really don't think Jesus is crazy, or because he truly, truly loves us unconditionally. And they go, and they say, I think that he loved us because only when you truly love, you can make all those kind of sacrifices. This was before I started eating the Beatitudes. And then we go through the studies of everyone. And for me, my opinion, this is all about hope. People at the time, they were suffering, pain, and then he comes and he started giving them hope, talking about if you're suffering any pain, you're gonna have the kingdom of heaven, and brought them hope. But look, was not any kind of hope. Was a very dynamic one, and that's the one that I would like to for us to reflect a little bit every day. In Portuguese, hope is esperança, and people think esperança means esperar, to wait. In Portuguese, sorry, I'm saying a little bit things in Portuguese today, but it's good for you to know. And hope is not about sitting and waiting that things are gonna get better and doing nothing about it. In the Beatitudes, if we really read and they say, poor are the ones in spirit, so they will have the kingdom of heaven. Look, there is kind of some work. They said, do you want the kingdom of heaven? Do you want the peace? Do you want the love? Do you want whatever comes from the kingdom of heaven? Honey, but there is one condition. You need to be poor in the spirit. What? It doesn't just come to me just because you like my hair, just because I think I'm a nice person. And Jesus was teaching, you have to be poor in the spirit, which is to be humble. When you are humble, Or blessed are the peacemakers. So all those things that you hope to achieve, they're going to happen. But we need to do a little bit of work. We learned that we have faith and hope and charity are the offsprings, are the babies, right? The offsprings of faith. And faith is that trust. Trust the Creator. It's not only believe, because we can believe in Santa Claus. We can believe in the Easter Bunny. Sorry. But that's not the same thing of having trust. It's different that you trust is like you get in an airplane and trust that the pilot is going to take you to wherever you need to go. Like you're putting your life in somebody else's hand, and that's the trust, right? And Jesus says that when you have faith with the size of a seed of mustard seed, you can move mountains. And the mountains are the problems in our lives, the big rocks. And when we have faith, He helps us to move those boulders, right? When we have faith and we have hope. But first, faith in God, faith that He knows, and faith that as our Creator, our Father, or whatever way you address this supreme being, He knows and He wants what is the best for us. And once we have that faith, hope comes. Hope comes with healing, optimism, peace, and energy. But faith, hope, charity. Why? So we don't sit and just wait that things are going to get better. While we are having hope, we should continue serving. And it's a good thing because when we are serving, we feel all the HOPE of hope. We are serving, we are helping others. We feel the healing, we feel optimistic, we feel peaceful, we feel energetic when we are serving others. Plus, we kick it up a notch in our vibrational level. When we are more positive, we can receive more inspirations from our spiritual guides and familiar friends, spiritual friends that are there to support us. But we need to prepare the soil, right? And we know that things are not very easy lately. We have some moments that's going on with the pandemic, and it is hard at times, and I feel the pain. I hear my friends talking to me, but never give up the seed that God planted in your hearts, and that's the seed of hope. Things will get better. And mainly with the studies of Spiritism that helps us to understand. So one story that helps me a lot in the moments of pain, struggle, and suffering is the story of Job. In the book of Job, in the Old Testament or in the Hebrew Bible, and it's with a lot of kind of poetry. So the story of Job, and I say you have to have the patience of Job. Patience of Job. And when everything is going on right now in this world, you come to me and tell me I need to be patient. Yeah, let's be patient. Because it takes time for things to start to reveal. If you look at your life and things that happened in the past, at the moment you didn't understand, but now if you look and you look back, oh my gosh. Like recently that I was sharing about the symptoms of of that I had with the COVID. There was one moment at night that my body hurt so much that I was crying. And then I remember one friend of mine that was going through so much of physical pain. And as I said, she said, I wish I would die. And I go, no, no, don't say that. But because of the physical pain that I was having, I kind of understood what she was trying to say because it was hurting. So what happened, I started having more empathy. And it was a blessing because I was able to feel just a glimpse, like a tiny, tiny, tiny what it is to feel, to have a COVID, to be in pain. You don't have peace. You cannot sleep. But in any moment, it stopped the hope. So, when I talk, sometimes I go right there and then I come back, bringing you back. Hope you're not getting lost with so much that I am saying. But we are talking about Job. You have to have the patience of Job. So let's learn a little bit about the story. I'm sure many of you already know, and if you do not know the story of Job, check it out. Google online if you have a Bible with the Old Testament, Hebrew Bible, or whatever it is, and read, because that's full testimony what it is to suffer and pain and struggle and be patient and acceptance. So, what do we know about Job? Well, Toby was a very wealthy man. He had a lot of money, properties, beautiful wife, tons of servants, and many, many children. With having children at that time was a very good thing because they needed the children, and mailing. If the children were male, would help with the business. So, and he was a very good man. Job was a very good man with good heart, always doing good, worshiping God. So you look at Job and say, wow, what a wonderful man. He's blessed in heart, in spirit, and materially speaking. So according to the story, you know, Satan, and let me explain here that when I say Satan, I'm not talking about the devil, because the meaning of the word Satan is adversary. That's it. So remember, when we read anything in the Old Testament, it's very, very allegorical. Don't take everything literal, but try to see the lessons that is behind and was trying to teach. So Satan, which is the adversary, which represents the opposition, was having a conversation with God in heaven. And God was saying, look, my child, so blessed that Job is a good man, and he loves me. He does all those wonderful things. And Satan, the adversary, said, really? How easy it is to be good? How easy it is to worship and love you when everything is going really well in his life, right? Hmm. How many times in our lives if things are going really well, we even forget to pray? You're just like, oh, and then suddenly we have a tummy ache or something really strong that happens. Then you go, oh my gosh, suddenly God exists. And then he remembers, oh, God, help me to go through this. So in the conversation between the adversary, I'd like to say adversary instead of Satan, but the adversary and God, he said to God, let me prove to you that he's not as good as you say. Let me give him some tests to see he's still going to love you. And God said, go ahead. I have faith in him. He's not going to curse me. He's still going to do everything good. And, but I just give you one condition, God said to Satan. He said, You can never take away his life. This I will not allow. They said, all right, let's go test him. Okay, now remember, this is Bernadette telling the story. And the Bible is very poetic and beautiful words. I'm just trying to, it's early in the morning, at least for me. That's how I tell stories to my students. So here comes Satan. The adversary goes there and said, ha, I got you, Job. Let's see how much you love God. And then what he does, in one day, he takes away his livestock. He loses his livestock, servants, and about of his 10 children. Now, losing one child is very painful to any parent. He lost many of them through robbery, something that happened in his properties, invasions, and some natural disasters. So, Job, oh my gosh, he was devastated. According to the story, he shaves his head to mourn the loss, like for 7 days. Tear his clothes, and he was desperate and crying. And then the adversary was just waiting. Ha! Let's see if he's gonna curse God now. Let's see if we lost. And he didn't. Job did not curse God. How many of us have been in a situation like that? Putting to test with the COVID right now, losing family members. It is very hard. But just like Job, do not lose your faith and your hope. But well, things go on with the story. Satan goes back to God, Jehovah, and says, well, I guess you were right. He didn't curse you, even though I thought the loss of the family members and everything and material things would be so painful. I'm going to try it again. He's not giving up. He want to prove that God was wrong and that he knew better. I'm going to prove to you. God said, go ahead. But again, you know my rule. You cannot take his life away. So, all right. So if he didn't learn much with the loss, material and family members, I'm going to give him physical pain. Ooh, physical pain. So he had some skin disease sores that were extremely painful. I don't know, but I was like cooking and I was cutting, some tomatoes and I didn't see and I cut my finger and it was blood everywhere and it hurt and I was not happy with just one little tiny cut. I go, it's like a little kid and Band-Aid and we're taking a shower because the water. Now imagine sores all over the body. And we have lots of people that suffer of very painful disease. So he said, now I got him. Now I got him. And then here comes his wife. His wife, that should be supportive, said, you see, Job, for God allowing you to do this is because God doesn't love you. You should curse God. God is not good. Oh, look at that temptation. You want your wife to support you, to love you. Come here, honey. Let me help us to take care of your wounds and your pain, give you medicine. But she did the opposite. Huh. See, you and your God, you trust, you love all this God. So it's not a good God. Look, how many times we be in a situation like that? We are going through a difficult time and our spouses do not understand what's going on. Or somebody that we really love and care, important, dear to us, we don't get the support. Or we are the ones that do not support and try to understand the ones that are going through a tough time, judging. Well, what happens in the story after that? So the wife leaves and he still does not curse God. In his mind, there is a reason behind this that I don't understand. There is something going on. So some friends come by, and they are like really good friends, right? And his friends, after sitting with him for a few days, trying to support him, the friends just got tired and said, "You know what, Job? If you are suffering, it's because of fault. You've sinned. God is punishing you because you were a bad person. You did something really bad." And they keep saying that, putting him down, saying he's horrible if he's suffering because he's not a good person. And he's at this time he gets really confused. He's like, but I'm doing everything good. I follow the teachings. I help people. And why this is happening to me? So it's like the friends was just putting more fire. Have you been in a situation like that? When you need love and you need support, and your close friends that are there, they are not doing or what we need at the moment, or we are the ones not being supportive. So this story of Job, if we get every single passage, there is so many lessons in every little situations that happen in the story. Well, this time Job had so much pain, and he was so tired that he started questioning and started to get angry at his friends, because every time he tried to say something positive, no, but there is a reason. God loves me. No, God doesn't love you. Oh, but there is a reason for the suffering. Oh, because you were a bad person. And he's just screaming. He's just, I can't take this anymore. And he's, God, why are you doing this to me? And then, according to the story, God got tired of seeing the friends. According to the story, God came down and said to the people, "Wait, you misunderstood. What you were telling him is not right. I'm not punishing him." And according to the story, there is a philosophical conversation, but long, between Job and God. And God started explaining a lot of things that's going on, why there is suffering, why there is pain, and there is this transformation. Now, it was said that Job at the time didn't know the Spirit's book because it was not published till then. Because if somebody at the time had given Job the Spirit's book, he probably would have all those answers, all those philosophical answers, that questions that he had. So I'm sorry, Job. But God came by and answered many of the questions according to the story. And there was this beautiful transformation to Job. He understood the power of God. He understood about suffering and pain. He understood that there are a lot of things that happen and we cannot understand. The importance of having faith and trust in the Creator. It was beautiful. Plus, he changed after that because it was easier for him to be good and follow God's teachings and everything. But he had not experienced pain. Now that he experienced pain, he knows how he felt. He knew how he felt to be sick and to have empathy. He knows what it is to lose someone we love. We know how he knows now. Oh, he knew how he felt after that. So in understanding more and more the reasons of pain and suffering the best way he could, considering some of our limitations. And then everything was restored. So there's a beautiful story about hope. There is a story of understanding. There is a story of transformation. And when I think about COVID, I think it's Job's story. It's like this whole planet is going through some transformation, losing the ones we want, that we love. It's sad. I don't wish this to anybody. I lost a friend, and it's very painful. The sores in our body. How many sores do we have? Sores, and I'm saying things that we need to heal from past lives, from behaviors, certain type of behavior. So why? So us and the whole planet can have this chat with God and wake up spiritually. Because I love God. God is good. All right. I have faith in God. So we have to be careful. That's not just words. We need to feel it. We need to understand. We need to study. We need to practice. We need to have that fertile soil. So we are all a new person like Job. Hope, full of hope. And I wrote one thing here that in the book he says, Job says, and I'm going to read here, having hope will give you courage. He says that. Having hope will give you courage. Let's have courage. You will be protected and will rest in safety. You will lie down unafraid, and many will look to you for help. You will become the model. Look, and many will look to you for help. When you are hopeful, people come to you. You are the energy. You are the optimism. You help. So you're going to be the model. So I'm inviting you today to be more like this model. Have hope, have courage, starting with faith. And friends, keep going. You know why? Because you are loved. You are an amazing person. God is counting on you to continue doing Jesus' work on earth, which is love and kindness. And hope is part of Jesus' work on earth. Let's be hopeful. And just like Job, hang in there. We're going to go through this. And we're going to go through this together. And the Spiritism help us to have the strength and understanding of everything that's going on the best way you can. We can do it. Thank you so much. I think.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bernadette. This is very, very interesting. And I want to say to everyone, Bernadette has a few minutes, so we're now open to questions or comments. Please do so by sending us via chat, and Bernadette will address your comments now.
Oh,
So we have one question, Bernadette. Why is it important for us to distinguish between faith and hope?
oh, it is. Faith is on top of the pyramid, right? It's the mom, the mothership. So, and faith is that trust that God knows what He's doing, and when He comes to moments of our life that we are not sure what to do, is just have faith that and that trust. I was talking to my daughter. Okay, mommy here, so needy on my daughter. I haven't seen her for over a year, and she showed up, and she said, "Well, you don't need to tell me what to do when I have problems with my friends, but with older relationships, I'm not sure what to do. But you have a more experience, mom." I said, "But why are you asking me?" She says, "Because I I trust you and you have faith in me. You know me." So I'm a little bit ahead of time. I know a little bit more than you. So trust and faith. And then I have the hope that you will listen and you're going to do your best because I have faith in you as well. So faith comes directly. Comes from God and you having a relationship with God. And remember, faith doesn't happen overnight, even though we have people that naturally have that faith, and I think it's beautiful. But faith needs to be watered. You need to learn, you need to educate yourself, you need to pray, you need to meditate. Because otherwise, things keep hitting us. Right? Right now, what we are doing, we are watering our faith. And then there is that difference. The hope comes with faith. I don't know if I answered. It's like, yeah, you're thinking.
Very good. Let's see if we have another question. Hi, Yasko. Yasko's asking us, great topic, dear Bernadette. In this present time of the height of COVID pandemic, badly affecting so many lives, when we feel physically sick, pessimistic, in a mental and spiritual disarray, and on the bottom of our energy supply, how to realistically help ourselves or someone in this situation?
Oh my God, you nailed. You nailed. And because I was feeling like that a little bit when I was. Okay, think about Jesus, the WWJD, right? What would Jesus do? And when I don't know the answer and I don't have all the answers, I go for WWJD. What would Jesus do? And then Jesus would pray for the person, give a call to somebody who is in need, ask somebody needs food. I have a friend that don't even ask. I knew that she was sick. I cooked some food and went to the house and dropped it off. There is always something that we can do. Maybe what we do for somebody that's having COVID is not may not. I'm sorry saying this. It may not save depending of the stage of the disease, right? But what everyone can do is give it comfort. Everybody has the power to comfort another human being because that's what we want to, and we feel bad when we are feeling bad. I posted on Facebook, I'm not feeling good at this. And the friends, okay, do you need anything? Let me call you. All right. I will bring Tylenol to you. And I felt loved. There is always something that we can do. Little drops of love, little drops of hope. Friends, send me messages with hope. You're going to be okay. We love you. We are praying. Just hearing that somebody, the family members, for the ones who are in the hospital, just helping the family is a wonderful thing. And guess what? Even if you feel you cannot do anything, um, you are not in a place that you can do anything materially or even praying. Maybe you are not the person that is like to pray, and it's okay. You can do listen. Many of my friends are calling from Brazil really stressed. And I said, and they go, I apologize. I'm just being negative. Okay, I'm here. I said, borrow my ears. Go. Go. I'm not going to judge you. Go. And then the end, the person says, it just felt good because everybody around me is negative and everybody's talking. So you're just talking to somebody. So, my friend, there is always something we can do to bring peace and comfort the best way we can.
That's great. Thank you. Um, JR mentioned, Bernadette, when did you start practicing Spiritism?
You really want to know my age? What? I just said yesterday. All right. Okay. Don't tell anybody I'm in my 50s. But I was 22 years old. And there was not really practicing. when I was 22 years old, with that story that I told you, that I felt there was no hope in my life, because I was even thinking that suicide was the answer. And accidentally, I end up at the Spiritist Federation, right? Um, and the situation in my life, and there was a lot of obsession going on. And because I found out I was not a very good person in my past life. So I had some friends that loved me and just want to hang out with me. 2 years of treatment before I was allowed to start studying. It was 2 years of intense treatment, passes, lectures, 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 and doing gospel at home. And I was frustrated. I go there, okay, I did all the treatment. It's been 6 months. Can I enroll in a class? Hold on, let's see. Oh, not yet. We're almost there. So 2 years. So after 2 years, was about, 22, 23, about 24. That's when I started studying. And then for 5 years at the Spiritist Federation in São Paulo, I took everything classes, every class. I started doing volunteer work, and it saved my life. And I'm not saying that the pain was gone, still, and some were even harder. But it was like, okay, now I know. And it was the best thing in my life was when I learned more about the Spiritist philosophy and start to apply. And I'm still doing it. I'm still practicing. I'm still learning. It never ends.
It's so good to hear that. So, another question, Bernadette, you mentioned learning about reincarnation. It helped
Mm.
you. Can you talk a little bit more about it?
Yes. Um, Before I used to know about reincarnation, so for me, my pain and suffering was that's it. This life. So I'm doomed. I'm gonna suffer for the rest of my life. So why would I care living? Why? What does it matter what I do? So I'm being tormented and completely hopeless. So I right now, because or not right now, I understand a little bit how people feel and why they say that. And the best present that you can give is to teach about reincarnation. Because they taught me that when I started studying, and it was this epiphany. I said, wait a minute. So even though I'm going through these trials right now, I will come back better. I will come back maybe in another situation with more understanding. And it's just opened my mind and proved to me that God loves me, because I was raised Catholic. For many years, I was a Sunday school teacher, and I am so grateful because it was through Catholicism that I developed a big relationship with Jesus, even more, and understanding of the Bible. So he gave me the foundation, right? But when I started not behaving well and doing things, I was very scared because I thought I was going to hell. And it was not a good feeling when you were a teenager. And with the Spiritism teaching me about reincarnation, says, "Oh my gosh, God really loves me. He's going to give me a new chance. I can now. I can move on. And also, I don't need to wait till next reincarnation. I can start doing the work now." And I start negotiating with God, saying, "Hey, God, I want to be a scientist next lifetime. Can we talk about it?" Right? I'm a teacher. So can you give me a little bit? Let me be a little bit more scientific. And also I tell my daughter when she's upset about something, "Oh, I hate this person." I say, "Hey, Barbara, gotta be careful because it's gonna come back. So solve this now." It's just the understanding is one of the most beautiful things, in my opinion, the understanding of reincarnation that gives us knowledge, comfort, peace, and hope. I so let's see what else.
We have another one. It says here, Bernadette, as we discuss hope, we have to also address hopelessness. As an elementary school teacher, what are your thoughts on the importance of parenting in early childhood in overcoming hopelessness?
Oh my gosh, this is so important because children learn from the parents. So home is the first school. So whatever they teach, that's pretty much what it will become. My mom used to be a little bit of drama, Brazilian, not judging, but it's like my mom was like, oh my God, everything was crying, everything was drama. So for a long time in my life, I was just like my mom. So if I'm a negative parent, and I know friends and relatives that everything that comes out of his or her mouth is something negative. You're going to die. Something bad is going to happen. The COVID is kicking in. And it's just and if you're just watching TV and seeing all CNN or whatever negative news it is, and not being able to think what is right or what's wrong, take all the good things and leave alone the bad things, you're going to become very negative. So parents, you need to pay attention to what you do at home. What kind of things are showing on TV? What's your language? What do you say to your children? Are you giving a message of fear? Now we are coming back to school, and I have parents that are positive. I have some parents that say, oh my God, take the little monsters, take back. They call the terrorists. And it's just being funny. They say, Miss Leal, take back your terrorists, your little terrorists, just being funny. But then I have parents that said, oh no, I don't want my child to die. My child's going to die. Something bad's going to happen. So, well, trust, have faith in science. We are going through this. We're going through this together. So, children is a product of the home of the parents. So if this child is extremely hopeless, negative, depressed, so of course you seek for help, professional help. But I always tell the parents when they come and complain about the children and they beg for my help, the behavior, there's I said, I always say, what's going on with our child? I say it's our child. Let's work together. But I tell mom, but are you willing to do the work too? Because we need to change home to see the effects of the child on the child, and it takes time. So a hopeless child, there's a great chance that you have a hopeless environment. There are exceptions. If you have a crystal child in your home, those evolved spirits that's possible. But watch yourself.
Yeah. I want to take a moment to address Adriana mentioned that I guess she connected with the story of Job, and she feels that at the moment she has lost so many things that she has cherished, and it's very hard for her to stay positive,
Mm.
and that she start to feel like she's a burden to her own friends. So
My
I would say at
gosh.
this moment, Adriana, feel loved. Please understand that God is there for you. And like Job, even though it does not make sense, He's there. Understand that you have the strength to survive this. Liao, Bernadette, do you want to add some additional thoughts to Adriana?
Adriana, my love, my friend, we all been there. And what you feel right now, my heart breaks when I hear that. And Adriana, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're not alone, right? Like Job, we are all going through this transformation in some kind, some type. And it's not easy. You are not a burden. You are loved. You are a child of God. And Adriana, You don't need to go through this alone. Ask for help. If you need to give us, send a message to Marcia. If we need to give you a call, there's great support groups. And we are here if you need just to vent. It's okay. If we need to pray, we will pray with you. I learned one thing when I was studying, when I was teaching uh, with Unity. I was teaching. And I learned something with them in Unity Church. They don't say, I'll pray for you. They say, I'll pray with you. And they use the preposition with. And for me, it completely changed because I'm going to pray with you. So I say, can you pray for me? They say, no, give me a phone number. And then they go, I'm going to pray with you because together is stronger. It's more than one person praying. So Adriana, we can pray with you. And hang in there, love. Hang in there. And Adriana, pray. Go for a walk. Listen to good lectures. Calming music. It's not easy. I'm not saying that tomorrow everything will be over. It's not easy, Adriana. And you are very brave to share this with us because there are millions out there feeling exactly like you. And you at this moment are being millions of people's voice. God is using you to share the moment. But we are going to go through this together. And we're going to be okay because life is eternal. This is not forever, honey. This is not forever. And we're going to go through this together. It's just like Job. You're going to see it.
Thank you. Thank you, Adriana, and thank you, Bernadette. There's another question here. What should our behaviors be to ensure we bring hope to those who are undergoing loss, especially in this time of pandemic?
Well, in my opinion, a little bit of hope comes with understanding.
Mhm.
And that's what Spiritism does. A little bit of a study of the causes of pain and suffering. Read the gospel according to Spiritism, the Spirit's book. So we understand what's going on. We understand that this planet is changing, getting better. It's going to another level. Reincarnation help us to understand and have more hope. So knowledge and understanding. If you want to bring hope to somebody, and some people are open to understanding. Some people are open, okay, tell me more about it. But others are emotionally like trash because there's so much going on. So you can give them hope, you just praying for them. Pray for them. Give them a call. And no matter how negative, this is the kick here. The person will be on the phone and will. If I tell you the amount of negative things I hear on the phone with my loved ones in Brazil, you always do your best to say something good. Say, but you are strong. Oh no, everything is hard. You're gonna go. That's okay. You are strong. I'm praying. Love God's you. Because they don't hear that very often. Empower the person to bring more hope.
This is very good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I guess be hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be the force behind the healing, the optimism, peace, and energy. Love that. So
Yes,
thank you. Thank you so very much, Bernadette, for your words.
you're
And I
welcome.
want to thank everyone who has been here today, all of you who are able to come and join us every week, right, during the live talks. And please note on this comment that next Saturday, April 10th at 11 a.m., please don't miss Jussara Corngold, who will be here speaking about Dr. Bezerra de Menezes. And I wanted to, before I say goodbye, I would like Bernadette to please say a prayer.
It will be my pleasure. So if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Divine Creator, we're going to start by saying thank you for all your blessings and taking care of us. We know that you love us. You know that you are watching over every single one of us. Even in the moments that we feel lost and we don't understand, but you are there. Please, dear Lord, hold our hands in the moment of pain. And the moments that we are struggling, find the way, bring the light so we can see, so we can cross the dark path because you are the light. Help us to remind ourselves that you are in our hearts, in our minds, and we have the light within us. Help us to bring light in this country, light in our family, light with our friends, dear Lord. Because you planted the seed of hope within us. And we can. We can heal. We can help to heal the world. We can help by being more optimistic, bringing peace in the places that need, and your energy. Help us to be the fertile soil, spreading your words with fruits and flowers blooming everywhere. At this moment, we ask you, bless each one of us. Bring your light in our homes. And that the light is so powerful and healing. The power of Jesus going through this whole planet, and everybody, everywhere, can feel your presence. Help us during the week, dealing with whatever comes in our way with ease, because we know that you are in charge. So thank you. Thank you for everything. In the name of the greatest teacher of all, our Jesus. So be it.
So be it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.